To speak on behalf of the students, I would like to introduce a member of the graduating class in the Department of Mechanical Engineering and Material Science, Micah Toll. Micah is an exemplary student and has been named in the top 5 college entrepreneurs of the year for North America by Entrepreneur Magazine. During his time at the university, Micah has been the president of Panthers for Israel, been affiliated with the Mascaro Center for Sustainable Innovation, Engineers for a Sustainable World, and the University Honors College, among many other groups that he's participated in. Micah has been inducted into the National Gallery for America's Young Inventors for his many inventions, including, with some classmates, the combination human-electric bicycle. This environmentally friendly bicycle is the basis for a startup company, Pulse Motors, that is well on its way to success, with Micah as its CEO. He has gone viral on YouTube and been featured in news outlets across the country, including USA Today. Micah is the epitome of someone who is going to change the world. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce Micah Toll.
Go, Micah!
Thank you, Dean Holder, for those kind words. Good evening, everyone. To our faculty, staff, and administrators. Good evening to the graduating seniors, of course, their friends and family. It's great to see so many proud parents here tonight. It's great to see my proud parents here tonight, especially after they sweated through 5 years of me trying to get an engineering degree. I want to start by actually thanking my parents. My father, who, as a scientist and a tinkerer, helped me grow up working on cars and who was a big reason for me choosing to become an engineer. And my mother, who, as a nurse, told me all sorts of interesting stories about why little boys should wear bicycle helmets, and it was a big part of me not going into the medical field. I really appreciate this honor of being able to talk to you all tonight. To inform me that I've had this opportunity, I was called to the dean's office last week, but I didn't know the reason for it at the time. The knee-jerk reaction was, oh, I'm so close to graduation, what did I do? I had this weird feeling like I was back in grade school being called to the principal's office again. But fortunately, my fears were unfounded, and Dean Holder was simply informing me that I had this opportunity and I should limit my remarks to 10 minutes. So, as any good engineer, I've included a factor of safety of 1.5. And I assume that there are many people in the room that can do a failure analysis when I go over and tell me what went wrong. So tonight, I want to talk about us, the graduating seniors, because frankly, tonight is all about us. I think when we start to look back over our careers here at Pitt, it can seem like everything went by in an instant, like it went by in the blink of an eye. But when we really start to think about it, I think that's when we realize the incredible amount of experiences and accomplishments we had here at Pitt. In the beginning, in freshman year, we all came together as simply a group of individuals, but very quickly banded together as a community of freshman engineers. I think something that really impressed me about our class from the beginning was that it was never really a competition between students when it came to academics. There's never students versus each other to see if we get the highest marks. Rather, it was like we students banded together in a competition, us versus the curriculum, to see, how could we all get together, helping each other, working together on projects and homework, so we'd all be here at the end. And I think that was something that really impressed me about our group from the beginning. A big part of coming together as a community for us, I think, started with many of us who lived on the engineering floors of the freshman dorms. I guess there's something about seeing your classmates running down the hallways, having Nerf gun battles all hours of the night that brought everyone together. Leave it to engineers, I guess, to disassemble perfectly good Nerf guns in their dorm rooms, put them back together, making them better and more dangerous, I guess. I never saw chem goggles save an eye in a chemistry lab, but I saw them deflect a lot of Nerf darts freshman year. But I think really when we look back on our time here at Pitt, we start to really get a sense of what's come and gone, what's changed. And I think our engineering building, Benedum, is a good example of that. Who remembers B80, that huge room that used to stand where our engineering library is now? It was basically this lawless area where students, faculty, advisors could all come together and mix, socialize, and share ideas. That's where I met my freshman advisor, who I still have a great relationship with today. And then there's the years of construction going on in our engineering building, which, sure, it's been an inconvenience for many people, but at least now the number of women's restrooms in the engineering building is approaching the 21st century. That's a plus. think that the construction was actually a gold mine of raw materials for a lot of engineering students. I always thought it was funny to watch the construction workers haul out building debris by day, only to see engineering students haul a lot of it back inside at night for more engineering projects. I think it was really like a battle of wills between construction workers on a deadline and engineering students wanting free parts. It was impressive to see what all of these creative students here were able to turn that stuff into. I think all of the Engineering Week soapbox cars owed a significant debt of gratitude to the construction dumpsters behind Benham. I know our mechanical engineering department's car was built almost entirely out of refuse. But I think all the cars got to the bottom of the hill this year, which, in addition to the lack of bodily harm, was probably one of the biggest successes of the day. But I think that our engineering building, Benedum, really became a home for all of us over our past 4 years, or 5 years. I did it in 5. I like to think there's no shame in that. But this home of ours was, it was really our home away from home. I mean, sure, people always talk about people sleeping in the building for, tests the next day or working on projects, and yeah, that happened. I knew people that had a hammock in the machine shop, but I think that Benedum was even more of a home to us than that. I mean, if we have refrigerators on all these floors, we had a shower in the basement. I guess we were just one washing machine away from never needing to go back outside, really. If engineers did laundry things. But I think that one of the biggest factors for us might not have been our engineering building, but much more so was our faculty, our professors, our administrators, the benefactors of our school, all of these people that came together to give us the resources that turned us into these well-rounded, educated engineers that we are today. And I think it's something that we should never take for granted. All of those hours and all of the work that our professors put in, both in and out of the classroom, preparing us for the real world. I know all of us have those few professors who we've developed some very close relationships with, who we can always go to for the help with homework and tests and advice, often years after we've passed through their classes. And I think that's something that we really need to never take for granted, just the amount of effort and the amount of energy that our professors put into teaching us. But in addition, it goes more than just the people in our building. It's the resources that the Swanson School of Engineering has provided us. I know almost all of the graduating seniors here tonight worked in the Swanson Center for Product Innovation, the machine shop and rapid prototyping lab in the basement of our engineering building. And this was a place that went beyond just the classroom curriculum and helped students learn how to take hands-on experience and turn their engineering innovations from paper into actual designs. In so many of our classes, we went through and we built designs on paper, wrote up a report and turned it in for a grade, but it basically stopped there. And with the Swanson Center for Product Innovation, they said, well, that's great, but here's a few $1 million of tools, why not build it? So that's what we did, and the Swanson Center helped hundreds of students. People walked in not knowing which end of a hammer was which, and walked out being able to operate millions of dollars worth of machinery. I thought that was very impressive. Another example is the Mascaro Center for Sustainable Innovation. All of these resources that have been provided to us from this organization, which works with students in a number of different ways, from one-on-one advising to working with undergrads and graduates on research to hosting an annual design competition, which helps students develop sustainable innovation starting as early as freshman year. I think it's this kind of dedication from the people and the organizations in the Swanson School of Engineering that has really been crucial into helping develop us into the engineers we are as we now prepare to enter the real world of engineering. And I think as we're preparing to enter that real world, we have to stop for a moment and pause and think about what that means. What does it mean to be an engineer? I don't want to get too philosophical, but as part of the mechanical engineering department's curriculum, I did take an ethics class, which turned out to be more of a philosophy class. So now as an amateur underqualified philosopher, I'd like to try to answer that question. What is an engineer? So what is an engineer? Well, we build things, but that can't be it, can it? I think it's more than that. It's not just building things. It's what we build. It's what we create. It's what it goes on to do in the world. I think the purpose of engineering, it's not just creating things for the sake of creating them. It's creating things that go out there and change the way people live, change the world for our better, have a positive impact on our society. It's all about taking our skills, our education that we've gotten here at Pitt in the Swanson School of Engineering, and turning that into solid innovation that can go out and affect people's lives, that can create positive change. And it doesn't matter what type of engineer you are. It takes bioengineers to build neuroprostheses that are helping accident victims return to normal lives. We've got electrical engineers building the future of electric vehicles. They're helping reduce the impact of climate change. We've got computer engineers building the interfaces we use daily. We've got chemical engineers designing the materials that are becoming the breakthroughs of tomorrow. Civil engineers are keeping the infrastructure that runs our cities alive. Mechanical engineers, who, as we all know, do all of those things. Just kidding. What about eval? You guys know what you do. That's not the point. The point is that it's what we create as engineers, that it takes all these different types of engineers to go out and have this positive effect on people's lives, to create things that go out and change the way people live for the better. We're creating the systems and the gadgets and the processes and the chemicals that are helping people live better, healthier, more productive lifestyles. We're changing the way people get around cities. We're changing the way they live their lives. And we're doing all of this using the skills we've learned. And I think that this isn't just the opportunity for us as engineering students and as future engineers. It's actually our responsibility. It's our responsibility to take what we've learned and go out there and implement it in the world. It's our responsibility to exact change for the better in our society. I think it's also our responsibility to educate, whether it's educating the public on the risks and rewards of certain engineering decisions, whether it's educating future generations of engineers that follow behind us. We've been given this gift of knowledge, this gift of creative problem solving, and it's our duty to go out there and use it for the better, because we're engineers. You're engineers. Let's go build something. Thanks.
Thank you, Micah. We wish you much success as you begin your career as an engineer. You are